Okay, so we're at Alexander Springs. We just left Gamble Rogers, and you can see the difference. It is nice and sunny here. It's absolutely gorgeous, actually. We come here quite often. This is like our third time.
Yep, this is probably the least amount of amenities of any of the parks we stay at, and it's still one of our favorites.
Yeah, all you get here is water, and even that's shared. So there's common area spigots.
Yeah.
And there is only one dump station for 60 some odd sites, and it's at the beginning of Loop A. But if you are a dry camper or you like just being in basically the wilderness, you can't beat this place. They have paved, I'd say about 80% of the roads and the camping back-end spots. And you'll see here in a little while, the spring head's beautiful. Got a lot of locals come in on the weekends, and I personally think it's a little pricey at $13 a head. Solar was basically useless here, so we were using a generator to keep the batteries topped off. We did 12 days here.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting to say this, but if you go in and look at our playlist, you'll see all the Florida camping areas or camping spots, national parks, the state parks, and the COEs that we stay at here in Florida during the winter time. You want full hookups, you want even RV resort style. There is a state or a Army Corps of Engineers park for you, and I'll try to show some of those. If you want to be on the beach, there's one for you. There's actually several for you.
Yeah, the state parks are so far the ones we've hit are really pretty.
So this is Alexander Springs. It's in Ocala National Forest.
Yeah, rec.gov.
Rec.gov. I think it's one of the more pricier ones, considering you don't have full hookups.
Yeah, I mean, it's about $20 a night, but that's with our...
That's with the military discount.
Yeah, so we pay half price for camping.
Yeah. Live life to the fullest. As if you're retired. She never says it. She thinks it's corny.
That's because... No. It was fine. But now we are kind of retired.
We're not retired. We're too young to be retired. We just quit.
I'll leave it there.
Mom and Dad's home. Mom and Dad's home. Stop what you're doing.
That face.
Look at that little face. I want to go outside.
You want your phone?
I want to come outside. All this area back here is ours. And then there is trails that connect each and every one of the campsites. You can see this is a campsite over here belonging to that rig on the left. And through the woods you can see other rigs. But there's also trails through the woods coming off the campsites that you can just go hiking. I don't know if you can see that bench right over there. A lot of tent campers. But one of the reasons I love Alexander Springs so much is just take a look at the size of our spot. Some spots are bigger, but very few are smaller. And I mean, this is nice. And we have our 35-foot fifth wheel in here, and really no problems whatsoever. Did you think we had a hard time getting in here?
No, I mean, I was a little concerned when I first saw it, but it went in fine.
Hey, Don. Alcohol's allowed on the alcohol's allowed on the grounds. You just can't bring it down here to the Springhead, the actual park area where everybody picnics and goes swimming. Now you have to keep in mind this is February. We just switched over, and the park, actually the water stays 72 degrees year round, and they use this area for training for scuba diving and everything. Laura and I scuba dive. We just hadn't had the opportunity to actually go down here doing scuba diving. So right over there to the left is where you launch your kayaks. Laura has something to say about the little store.
Super nice people, but I'm telling you, $3.50 for a can of soda. I just don't even know anymore.
We gotta support the parks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got any scuba divers out there today?
Oh, no scuba divers today.
No. Got some people in kayaks over there though.
Yeah. There were some people in there renting kayaks.
There's actually a walkway all the way around the park leading over to the kayak rentals and launches, which we're fixing to go to right now. So this is why everybody comes to Florida in the summertime.
Or in the wintertime.
Wintertime, my bad. So this is your kayak and your stand-up paddleboard canoe launches. You can rent them here also, or you can bring your own, like Laura and I did. And then you would take the river or the creek up and around, and it actually goes quite a few miles. Laura and I have seen some beaver, quite a few different fish species, and it is crystal clear. And it does get colder as you go further down. See any gators?
Yeah, we did, but it went away pretty quickly.
Hey, none.
Yeah.
Good? Okay, when you first enter the trail, which is basically directly across the street from the entrance to the park, it is a walking slash bike trail. And according to the rangers, the people walking are supposed to yield to the bikers. But it's not that far up in here that they actually Y off and it becomes a dedicated bike trail or a dedicated hiking trail, whichever one you happen to be out here on. And I believe I was told it goes 11-mile loop. On a couple occasions you're going to cross some of the main roads that run through the forest itself, as you can see right here. Okay, as we said earlier, there is actually 4 loops, and this is leading the Loop A, and this is the only one that hasn't been redone, and I'm hoping they get it done this year, you know, with all the budgetary cuts and everything. Each loop has 1 to 2 bathroom facilities, and even though Loop A needs a lot of work, it is paved. Now, unfortunately, some of these back ends are, well, a lot to be said about leveling. However, as you take a left here, we're going to go all the way down to Loop D, because the way it works is basically you go one way and then you go through the loop and then come out and go to the next one, heading out towards the entrance to the park. Actually, we're passing another restroom here on the left. This here actually is going to be for Loop C. As we go into Loop D, you notice that the roads are becoming brand new now, and there are both designated parking spots on the left and the right. And we'll just stop here to give you an idea of just how large they are, and I'll ride around a little bit and show you that each one of these campsites are actually connected. And there's another restroom, by the way. We're actually connected by paths. Now, some of these paths actually just lead off into the woods. They're little walking paths. It's kind of cool. What I do like about Loop D, C, and B, other than that the pavement is actually brand new, is that in Group D, you're backed up to the forest and you have nobody behind you, only in front of you. And you'll see here in Group C, it's more of an island style. But as you drive through here, you got all natural Florida. There is no amenities other than you have shared water spigots. So you still have to actually hook up a hose and put the water into your tanks. Now, I was just in the overflow. This is one of the largest parking areas there is, so if you get there and you're particularly large, ask for that one. And it's number 66, by the way. Now you're going to see we're going to go past that very same bathroom that we just drove by, and we're going to go into actually Group Loop C, excuse me. Now, when you go into these different loops, the size of the back end spots vary quite a bit actually, But I would say you could get, you see a fifth row on the left, you should get some pretty decent sized rigs in here. There's a couple of them, and this is the prettiest site I've seen. I don't know if you noticed just how pretty it was back there. But you can, I'm going to show you a site here in Loop B rather, that I seen a 40 plus toy hauler in, and that guy had all the room in the world and had no problem backing in whatsoever. Now I'm not going to lie to you, some of these sites are kind of hard to back in. I've been in 4 different sites here because I've stayed here 4 different times. And by the way, I'm just going to point out, put your fire out, guys. You know, we're in the middle of a forest and it is dry season during the winter time for the most part. I'm going to take a moment here and apologize for my voice. We just came from Game of Rogers, went through that winter storm here in Florida. Oh my God, changing weather is not good for the old frog in the throat, right? The reason this is such a long video on just a drive-through, we did it on our e-bikes and I sped it up because this is a very large park. I mean, there is quite a few spots, 4 different loops, and the downside is there's only one dump station. We're fixing to come up here in just a moment right here, and it does need to be redone also. Again, all that's scheduled to be done. However, hopefully they don't get the budgetary cuts, but it is an older dump station. And obviously if you're on a large rig here, it can be a little hard to navigate. Now we're going back down, and this time we're going to go through Loop B, which is actually my favorite loop. It only has a couple spots that you can get a rig my size in at 35 feet. You turn in right here and you go in to Loop B, and you're going to notice it's more like this little island back up in there. Kind of cool, but it is smaller spots. I will point out that during the hurricanes and everything, you're going to notice a lot of cleanup is being done. Yeah, we just got a little squirrel running from me there. A lot of cleanup's being done here. They do allow you to gather and burn the wood that has been cut and is down. Don't cut live trees, guys. People tend to do the stupidest things out here, and I hate saying it that way, but it just is what it is. This is a path that goes down to a lagoon and kayaking area. It's a pretty cool little path. Can't take your bikes, can't take your pets or anything like that, but it's a nice little walking path if you don't want to go off into the trails. Thing about Alexander is it is dry camping, but it does have amenities too. You know, it's got the stores, it's got the lagoon, it's got paved roads and all that. So it's dry camping with a little bit of splash. We really enjoy it. And we're fixing to come up here to that one parking area that I don't care what size your rig is, you're gonna get in this thing. Restroom down the left. Each loop has its own handicap parking area, which is nice, you know, provide all the amenities for that. So right, let's see, oh nope, missed it. Okay, it's right up here on the left, and it's on the exit, so if you had a problem, you actually have quite a ways right here. Look at this thing here, you could fit a semi in there no problem, and then you have all this corner lot to yourself. I mean, that's just awesome, right? Okay, that's going to be the tour of the loops A, B, C, and D. Now right here we went back out the main gate, you hang a left and you go down, there's another kayak launch down here. You can put in your canoes, kayaks, whatever. People come down here and hang out. So if you're not wanting to kayak or canoe that one section of the park, you can come down here and put in at the bridge, and it's just a nice little area that you can hang out and, you know, bring the kids to do a little swimming. Be aware of the gators, those guys. I mean, those things are pretty sneaky.